Welcome to another video and to another organ. Today I'm at Hawes, St Margaret's Church, right in the heart of the Yorkshire Dales. Beautiful little village. If you haven't been here before, I highly recommend it. Come on a different day though, because it is freezing cold, hence the big jacket again. Firstly, if you haven't been to this channel before, my name is Paul and I visit pipe organs all over the place, wherever I can get in. So please, if you're interested in pipe organs, consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps and I'll be very, very grateful. But without further ado, let's have a look at this lovely 2-manual pipe organ. So I hope the lighting is okay. Unfortunately there aren't any lights on in this church. I've had to turn the console lights off because they reflect right off into the camera. But as you can see, this is a lovely 2-manual tracker action pipe organ. It was built by Hopkins. I think that was Thomas Hopkins, an organ builder in York. And I'm told with the help of Grok, that this organ was built in 1906. I suspect it's a little bit earlier than that actually. I'm not absolutely sure, but this church was built in about 1850 and I think this organ was probably built a little bit later than that. I'm guessing that because it has a ratchet swell pedal rather than a centralized balanced swell pedal. That's kind of the first observation, but the console looks older than that. If you have any more information on this organ, please do drop it down in the comments. But as usual, we're going to start here on the grate, which is the bottom manual, and there are quite a few stops. Let's have a look. So the first stop on the grate is a 16-foot double open diapason. The 16 foots on this organ, from what I've tried so far, are really nice. This is the 16-foot double open diapason. That bass though is stunning. That is lovely. As you will well know if you've watched other videos, I'm not a big fan of 16 foots, but that sounds lovely. Next we have an 8-foot open diapason. The front pipework here, I suspect, is the open diapason. There is also pipework to the side, so the sound from within the organ travels outward fantastically well. It's quite a large church, but certainly fills it. Next we have an 8-foot dulciana. Beautiful. Next is a raw flute. It's an 8-foot. Very nice indeed. Next we move up to a 4-foot, which is, you've probably guessed, it's a principal. Let's try that with the open diapason. Nice and really has some power. If I'm playing worse than I normally do, which is difficult, I realise, my hands are bitter cold. That's my excuse for today. Next we have a harmonic flute. It is a 4-foot. Let's try that with the other flute, the 8-foot raw flute. Nicely in tune as well. This organ is, again, a lot of the organs in this area are tuned by Peter Wood organ builders of Harrogate. So nicely in tune. Good job, Mark. The next flute stop on the grate is a harmonic piccolo. It's a 2-foot, which sounds like this on its own. Lovely and bright. I would personally, just my opinion, feel free to comment. I know you do, but please feel free to comment if you disagree. But I would prefer a 15th there. But it's still nice to have that 2-foot. It adds that brightness. Let's try that with the other 2 flutes, the 4 and the 8. And how does that stand up to the open? Sounds pretty nice and bright. Again, I would prefer that 15th, just my opinion. And the final stop on the grate is a reed. It's an 8-foot horn. Let's try it on its own. Sounds pretty nice, and it's nicely in tune again. It sounds like it's a long way away. I'm not sure where it's positioned on the organ, but it just sounds a long way away. Let's try something on the grate. I love that grate, and with that trumpet as well, everything put together, and that mini 2-foot, it does sound really nice. Let's try the pedals, because they're here on the right as well. Let's have a look. So the pedal stops, there are 3 of them. Firstly, the pedal board is a concave radiating pedal board. There are a series of combination pedals, which I haven't tried them, but we know what they do. They're obviously select stops that have been preset. There is a ratchet swell pedal. Had to think there, I'm so used to saying balance swell pedal. It's a ratchet swell pedal. There's also another pedal to the right of that. I think that might be the tremulant. It is, I can hear the tremulant going. There is also another pedal to the right, which seems to be a reversible for the Great 2 pedal. But the pedal stops, let's move to that. The first pedal stop is a 16-foot open diapason. Nice. It's got some lovely depth. We have a 16-foot Borden. And an 8-foot bass flute. Let's try those three together. Pretty beefy, even on its own, but I imagine when the couplers are coupled, I think that'll sound pretty impressive. Let's now move on to the swell, the stops for which are here behind me on the left. So with the swell box open, the first stop on the swell is a 16-foot double stopped diapason. Feel that rumbling, I hope you can hear it. That is a lovely, lovely 16-foot. Next we have a guiding principle, it's an 8-foot. And an 8-foot walled flute. Lovely. And a string, it's an echo gamba. Lovely bass again, the depth on this organ is something else, it's lovely. A Vox Celeste, let's try on its own. Obviously stops at Tennessee, let's try that with the Gadact, see if we get that lovely beat. Do. To touch out a tune, it's very, very quiet as well actually, even with the box open, but very, very nice. We have another 4-foot principle on its own. Let's try that with the Geigen principle. Very nice. I mentioned this a few organs ago. I can't remember which one it was now. But again, I think this should be on the grate. Again, let me know in the comments if you disagree, but I really think this should be on the grate. This is a 12th. It is a mutation stop. It is a 2 2/3 on its own. And to go along with that, we have a 2-foot piccolo. Would be nice if that was a 15th, but we'll try it. Sounds nice. Just think it should be on the grate, particularly that mutation. And we have 2 reeds on the swell. We have an 8-foot oboe. And an 8-foot clarinet. That's a lovely clarinet actually. It's very, very quiet. It does seem like it's an awful long way away. But it's a nice tone and it's pretty much in tune as well. Considering the weather, let's try something on the swell. That is a lovely swell, albeit pretty quiet. And also that is a stunning tune. If you're a tenor in a choir, I hope you were singing that tenor line. I'm not a singer, but I love that tenor line. Finally, while we're here on the left, we have 4 couplers. We have the 3 that you would expect. We have a swell to pedal, grate to pedal, and the swell to grate. Obviously, I couldn't think, my brain's gone a bit cold. But we also have a swell octave, which I didn't try while we were testing out the swell. Let's try that. So actually that swell octave does make up for the fact that the swell is so quiet. Again, it sounds like it's so far away, it sounds like it's in another church, but lovely tone, nicely tuned, just a lovely organ. It looks nice, it's a lovely church. Hopefully you've seen some footage of that, but what I'd like to do now to finish off with is have a good blast on the entire organ with everything out and see what it sounds like. Let's have a go. I certainly think this was worth the hour and a bit drive to come and look at this lovely organ. It really has some power, it's well cared for, it's nicely in tune, and it is freezing cold. I'm so grateful that my wife bought me this lovely big coat. Thank you very much to the church who've been kind enough to let me in today to record this video. Thank you as always for watching. Again, if you haven't subscribed already, I would be ever so grateful if you would consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps. But until next time, I shall see you later. Bye for now.